Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. When the chair is heavier than you are. Okay. Hi, everybody. Struggling with the chair. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Come on in. Say hello. Am I on Facebook and YouTube? Okay, we're on. Hi, TikTok family. Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Happy Good Friday in advance. Happy Easter in advance. Happy Holy Week. Holy Week. What they call it? Only Thursday. Holy Week. Resurrection Sunday. Happy everything. Hello. Let me get my glasses, y'all. I know what it is. My eyes are just not cooperating with me these days. I'm always on the computer anyway, so okay. Hello, Moreno 72, TJ _ reach forever. I love that username. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Say hello when you come on. Happy Thursday. Hey, Miss Peggy. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Let's talk immigration. Say hello when you come on. Let's know where you're joining in from. If this is your first time joining in, put in your city, country, state, whatever the case may be. Hi, everybody. Hey, Facebook and YouTube family. I hope y'all have had a wonderful week so far, a blessed week so far. It went pretty fast. Like, seriously, it was just Monday yesterday. Tomorrow is Friday. Like, this year is like, talon late 2025. 2025 is not playing with us. Like, Hey, Miss Sanctuary, how are my babies? Were you told, like, hey, it's live time, Cecilia is on. Go watch now. Don't repeat questions, though. Thank you. All right, come on in. Let's talk immigration, y'all. Don't be shy. Say hello when you come on. Listen, let's just leave it alone. Samari Bilola. I think that's a combination of names from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome. Is this your first time here? But in Falashade, welcome. Welcome in Cornell _1. Like, how do you say, what's the combination? And not probably just, it's Samari Bilola. First time, welcome. Is that a combination of two names in your username? Like, can you separate it from me? Because our account, your rabbi is very, very, very questionable. So, this is very questionable. Anyway, hello, Miss Mary. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you as well. Sam, Aribilola. Is it Aribilola, right? If I just murdered your name, just listen. Your Bami is good evening from Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you, TJ, for coming. That's my son's name. That's his nickname, I should say. Let's talk immigration, y'all. Let's wait a little while, even though why I pronounce it better. Oh well, it is what it is. What can I say? I already told you I speak it, but pronunciation is another thing, and reading is another thing. What most stuff from expecting it. I know you're right. People think I'm always joking, but it is what it is. But we'll try, right? Close enough. Because I'm just using my name as, Abisola, Aribilola, What does it mean? That's going to be helpful. What does the name mean? And that would help me to know how to pronounce it. What does it mean? Thank you, Miss Peggy. We'll try, Jody. We'll try. I think I've told this story before that. For but what does it mean? What I went to FGGC and for the final of our SSC exam, we were the one here called essay on 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. So I can never forget for the rest of my life 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, right? So that is what family planning. Well, I didn't know it was family planning. I didn't know it was family planning. But what does it mean? Tell me what it means in English, and I would be able to pronounce it properly. So, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, right? And ask me what I wrote, what my essay was about. My essay was about child christening. Looking back, I'm thinking like, we're talking 31 years ago. So, releasing, we don't judge. If you want to judge, judge 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. And so when you know how you come out of exam and you're all talking about, hey, what did you write? What was this question about? And everybody was talking about family planners. No. I was even arguing because I was born to argue. Then no, it's about child christening, like 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂💏, like you're planning towards, family. I was like, I'll be damned. That's what it means. So my whole entire essay was on child christening, and I was like, well, I tried. So if I come up with a C with that one, hey. Our parents, Mama, will try. Y'all, I'm telling you, God has been looking out for me since. Because I know if I got a C in that subject, my mom would not. I probably would have had to leave somewhere else. When I tell you that I actually made an A3 in that exam, in spite of listen, God has been in the business of miracle forever. In spite of 𝒂𝒂💏💈 and all that. I made an A3. I was like, what? So you're laughing to yourself. From where to where, as long as there's a child involved. I'm telling you, it's like I can never. So if anybody says there's no how I can forget what it means. But oh well, it is what it is. Welcome in everybody. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if it's a case that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients, regardless of the state you live in. I know I'm rushing through that because I talk pretty fast, but we're doing questions tonight. What are we doing tonight? Fellow immigrants, what are your questions? So let's tackle them. So I think we try to do questions every third live. So if you've got an immigration question, general response, nothing specific to anyone's case, but here is the time, an opportunity to put your questions in a comment section, and I'll get through as many as possible. That's what we're doing tonight. So bring on the questions, fellow immigrants. What are your questions? If you send a question to our DM, you're going to be, texting with my assistant, and she's going to tell you to go set up a consultation. So here is the opportunity to have the questions answered. So welcome coming in. Let's talk about immigration. So many things going on in the immigration world. We know one of the headlines from today was an American man who was detained. Sometimes you can't laugh, you can't cry, you have to laugh. An American-born citizen was detained. In spite of being shown his birth certificate, they said they couldn't believe it. Just because, he was born in America, but he went back to, I think he's from Mexico. Don't quote me now. I think he went back to Mexico with the family and he came back. So he doesn't really speak English like an American. And so based on that, and they said it's not prejudice, but based on the fact that he didn't sound American, they didn't believe that he was actually born. But he's been released now. He's been released. I think I just got that update before I came on. But this is the world we live in. And then when you get to a point, for those of us who have lived who lived or come from countries where we have experienced totalitarianism, we've experienced dictatorship, we know what it feels like. Americans ain't seen nothing yet. So this has the stamp of that all over it. By the time a president is telling universities what he wants them to teach, how to teach it, isn't that craziness? Isn't that madness at this point? I'm telling you, it's shocking that this is America. It is shocking that this is America, and the Congress is just standing by doing absolutely nothing. Like, what my Saturday off one Sunday? Now what? My mom would say, "What's my Saturday low? What goes Sunday lower?" Like, what the heck is going on? So I know we've got so many questions, so let's tackle as many questions as possible. But like I said, general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. Whatever, responses, if it's helpful to you, that would be great. But is this line on the kinship? Like, no. But let's just get to it. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, follow, share. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Olaleye Immigration. 334-341-4475 is our contact number. info@olalayelawfirm.com. You can also visit our website at olalayelawfirm.com. We'll be glad to represent you and walk this immigration journey with you. We are in scary times, but there is no reason to live in fear. Fear has no place in this whole situation. We are going to constantly and we're going to constantly and keep sleeping and keep speaking favorably. And in talking favorably, let me talk about, if you were here on Tuesday, just to give an example of how God steps in on our behalf. If you were here on Tuesday, one of my VAR clients, we sent we got an RFE for a document. We had sent it in. We sent it about 2 weeks ago, Mr. Kubina. I think 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so Tuesday, got to the office, got a denial notification from USCIS, like on the basis they claimed that we did not respond to the RFE. And that's what I always said, if you hear nothing else from me, hear this loud and clear. Make sure that you do not ever send anything to USCIS if it's not, except through trackable mail, that you have your tracking number, you've got proof of delivery. Make sure you do that. But anyway, I don't know if Mr. Bena is on here, but Mr. Bena had a special prayer for Mr. Kubina. And I wish I could remember what it was. That don't fear, just put it in God's hands. Trust that it's going to work out. And I was telling him, listen, there's a reason for everything. And I was ready to fight because you already know me. Especially when it's something that I know we did everything with. We did what we're supposed to do. And then you come back and then this BS denial, and on the basis that it was abandoned. What the heck? He was signing, someone signed for it. It was saying someone signed for it. We have proof of delivery. We were actually going to start the motion to reopen process and all that yesterday. And so Mr. Kubina was on Tuesday. He was feeling down. Mr. Bena had a special prayer point for him, which was very, very encouraging. That's one of the things I love about our community coming together every Tuesday and Thursday. Y'all, yesterday, after Mr. Kubina and I had exchanged emails, I'm like, okay, I'll send you, the information you would need and all that to get started on this. I just went in because I was like, okay, let me check my case updates for today. What's been going on? Do y'all know that we went from literally getting a denial notice and being denied on the tracking app to getting an update yesterday saying we reopened your case and we're reconsidering our decision. Because it's like, there is power in prayer. The greatest, the most powerful weapon you can ever fight with is prayer. Out of nowhere, the same crazy folks who, whatever, but God stepped in, because this man was already like, this is not what I was expecting, but God stepped in, and on their own, the Bible says the heart of the king is in his hands. He will turn it in the direction he wills. God stepped in and like, y'all just, I know. Anyway, you're going to favor my son. We reopened your case and we're reconsidering our decision. I was like, what? that hasn't happened to me. It's going to be 10 years in October I've been doing immigration law. It hasn't happened, but for the grace of God, he is still in the business of miracles. And then today it went to, we reopened your case. So God willing, I'm believing the next one is going to be an approval of his green card. So saved him attorney fees, saved me from cussing them out because I was ready to write them. They get my letters. When you already make me feel like I obviously I did my job, but when it looks like it, thank God. That's why I love evidence, because I was ready to blast them like, saying people, hey, they might try to say 1 + 1 = 2. Ebo law school. But so we rejoice with Mr. Kobina that he says I was able to sleep very well last night. Put it up. Good evening. I was able to sleep very well last night. Thanks be to God. Abena, God bless you for your words. I guess of encouragement was what you meant. There is nothing like speaking life into somebody else's life. You just do not know what someone is going through, but you never know what it is you're going to say, and that person holds on to it, and God meets you at the point of your need. So let's just keep, encouraging one another, praying for one another, and keep going, regardless of what's going on around us. It is going to work out in our favor. It's going to work. All things going to work together for our good. So I wanted to just share his testimony, and we're trusting and agreeing in faith that the next time he comes, he's going to be able to testify to God's goodness of the approval of his green card. Okay. And we meet every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Everywhere else, I don't know. All right. So, all right, let's see. Okay. Questions in the comment section. Yes. Happy Thursday. Okay. Do you think... Yeah, okay, Jay. Let me see if I wanted to talk about this. Good evening, Timothy. How are you? Do you think Kilma Garcia's wife, who says she filed an exaggerated abuse claim against him in 2021, will talk herself into the well? Won't her lawyers keep her? Listen, no comment. I love you, no iPhone. They're not new, but thank you. A friend has an ITIN and he is scared to file for taxes. Okay, so what's your question? Hey, Miss Collins, how are you? How are you? Thank you for joining from St. Kitts. Thank you always. Can you help me? I received a referral letter 3 days ago, which has been docketed and doctored letter that I should appear on Zoom for first hearing at 8 a.m. on my asylum case. Well, I can't help you unless you schedule a consultation and discuss your case. I think when you come to the wish me so super. Well, listen, let's leave that alone. I'm not sure. Jay, are you an immigrant or are you? Anyway. Okay, let's go to Instagram. Put your questions in the comment section. Keep them coming. Let's take care of questions tonight. And save yourself a consultation if you can. General information, but sometimes you may get the answer to your question and not need to have to schedule a separate time to discuss your case. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Gumbiade. How are you? Fashion_worker. Hello from Texas. Thank you for joining. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter. If you're running, listen, you're by your could stop anybody. Right. You say tomato, I say tomato. As long as you understand what I'm saying, that's what matters, right? Okay. Hello, Miss Malabi. How are you? New members, welcome home. Thank you, Miss Peggy. You will enjoy every moment and enjoy and learn a lot. This is true. That is very true. Please, after VA approval, what next? And what's the timeline looking like for I-485 if you file concurrently? Obviously, you lock in a priority date when you file concurrently, but as far as timeline, there's no set timeline. Everybody's case is different. There's a lot of factors that go into that. when you filed, where your field office is, if you're going to be scheduled for an interview, is your case, are they going to send you a request for evidence for something? There's a lot of factors that go into how quickly that's going to be adjudicated. So I can't tell you this is the set time because everybody's case is different. I tried. Okay. Where in Accra do you know? Well, I went to Accra. What do you mean where in Accra? Accra is Accra now, different places. Well, my grandmother, Yaburu, it's called Yaburu. My grandmother she had a series of houses, a real estate on Iwalewa Street, I think. Wherever that is in Accra, I don't know. I went to school there. I didn't live there. I was in boarding school, obviously. It's an Ijebu name from Osun State. It literally means there's an opportunity for you to be successful. Opportunity for you to be successful. Yeah, that's why I said Aribilola. Like you can find Aribilola, that you can find online like wealth. Aribilola. Okay. I tried. Okay, that's the same question. Please do not repeat questions. That helps to go through this faster. Where is Mama Finest Shandy? She's probably working. Okay, I'm planning to travel to Nigeria. Do I need Nigeria visa, my American passport? There we go again. I think we've addressed this this is beating a dead horse. If you're leaving the United States, obviously you're leaving with your U.S. passport. If you're coming to the United States, you're coming into the U.S. with your U.S. passport. Wherever you're going, whatever country you're going to, that country controls what documents, visa stamp, whatever the case may be, you're going to be able to use to get in. Example, if you are going to visit the UK and you are an American citizen, effective January, I want to say it was January 8th, just like the US has done for the UK for donkey years, they now started the electronic what's it called? Electronic visa for you to come into the UK. There's no visa stamp you get, but you're going to. Let me pull it up real quick. Don't want to give you electronic travel authorization. That's what I was looking for. So you have to apply for it. You get an email confirmation, so it's going to be in their system, but you don't get a visa stamp. You're going to use your U.S. passport to go into the UK, but anyone, in fact, after January 8th, that has not applied for and been granted the electronic travel authorization, you cannot get into the UK. And if you get there, you're not going to be able to get into the UK. They will not admit you if you don't have an approved ETA, right? When you are leaving, though, obviously you're coming back to the United States as a U.S. citizen. All you need is your passport. You don't need a visa stamp in your passport. So the U.S., and I know that's been back and forth, the United States cannot dictate to another country what entry documents you're going to need to that country. What they can do, however, is they want to see what you present on your way back into the United States, and then those who are checking you in, or when you're boarding the plane, they want to see your passport. It's not about the government. That's something they can control, but you cannot. If you're going to Nigeria, if you're a Nigerian citizen, obviously you don't need a Nigerian visa to go to get into Nigeria. But you're going to use your U.S. passport to come in and to leave the United States when you are on this side of your travel. So there's been a lot of back and forth, but then again, I'll caveat this. Financially, how are you? I'll caveat this by saying that's what the law is. But obviously, there's a whole lot there are a lot of changes we're going through, and this guy in office is, he's doing life the way he pleases. So just something you should be aware of. But that's generally how that goes in a nutshell. Hello, Mama. My mom is on. Everybody say hello to my mom. Daytona 63. Hello, Mr. Magic. What? Your dad is saying hi. Tell your dad I said hello. I'm gonna be nice to you tonight because I know your dad is watching. So, but well, thank you for gracing us with your presence once in a while. We do appreciate it and we welcome you. How's your wife doing? Okay. He came to see us briefly. That's good. That's pretty good. Welcome. Tell him I said he's welcome. It's magic coming here, an American deported. No, I didn't say deported. I didn't say deported. It was detained. Don't no and don't. That's not. It was detained. I didn't say deported. Now they detained him, but he's been released from custody now. It's crazy. T. Joe, my baby boy. He's with his dad today. Hey, TJ. Now I can. Now he actually can join since it's not him. Hello, my baby boy. How are you? Yeah, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hey, grandma. He already knows his grandma is on. Hey, TJ. Yo, I mean, everyone's kid is on Easter break, right? Yeah, he's really sad for Easter break. I have a student whose service was terminated and in his final year. Can you imagine? And to start exams for May 4th. Are you serious? It's 15 days is on 23rd April. What can be done? Well, he may want to join in the one of the class action lawsuits that they have ongoing. If not, then he can do a reinstatement. The reinstatement buys him time, but he would have to get a new I-20, pay service fee, file an I-539, and once it's filed, that allows him to continue to be enrolled in school, and hopefully that takes him through the time he has to be done with his exam and graduation. It's ridiculous what's going on. It's insane. It's insane, but yeah. Been like saying that they're going in, but no, I don't say anything to worry about, Mr. Maggi. Yeah, and oh yes, we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. It doesn't matter what state you live in. We can and do represent immigration clients, no matter regardless of the state you live in. So, 334-341-4475. I get green card and I still do what I did before I got it. Looking over my shoulders. Flies. It's not funny, but isn't that the truth? I'm telling you. Okay, I have a cousin. Okay, here we go. Cousin, brother, sister. I have a cousin whose extension will expire in 2 months, and he said nothing is coming from the immigration. What do you think he can do? Whose extension for what? Extension for what? What is this? What did he have an extension for? Hello, my baby boy. Hello, my baby boy. Not your framework. Prayer is the key. Aww. I'll tell you something, y'all. Your children do what they see, not what. Yeah, you can tell them, but they pay attention to what you do. The other day, I didn't even notice, but it's good when you teach your kids that prayer is just what my kid gets on the Bible app when we're driving to school. And if he doesn't get to do it while he's getting ready on the way to school, he gets on his Bible app and reads his Bible and gets his devotion in for the day. That's a proud mama moment. Like, you know what? I must be doing something good. Doesn't mean I ain't going to cuss him out before we get to school, because that boy has a very sharp mouth. I wonder where he got it from. And I didn't ask y'all for your input. I'm just wondering. Hey, baby boy. Where 2 or 3 gathered in agreement, he is there. And absolutely, I'm telling you, absolutely. Just to know that he, I was shocked. I looked at it, I was like, sitting here like, what? I was like, well, maybe somebody that I know it's God, but just even add more to it. They probably looked at the case and was like, oh no, it's this lawyer's name on it. Oh no, we don't want to deal with her. Oh no. She sent it with this is our error. And God decided to step in so there wouldn't be any problems. Because I was ready. Like and people should mind try to embarrass you. But you dig or no. So we thank God. Yes, amen. When we speak and we agree in faith on your behalf, Mr. Kovina, that the next thing is going to be the green card, God willing. So shall it be. So shall it be. Okay, let's see. My baby boy is actually being. TJ in the building. Yes, he is. I always miss my baby. You can tell that he's not home whenever he's not home. But hey, you gotta share custody. What can we do? He was started. That will bring it to completion. Amen. Yes, speedily to in Jesus, and I pray that for us too in Jesus. So shall it be for every one of us waiting on God. Thank you, Tune Baby, for Walewa is so popular in Akure. Okay. Well, that's where she had Yabu. She had a whole lot of. I mean, she had so many tenants, and it was. She was popular. Hey, I am Salami. How are you? Hello, Miss Hilda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, ETA versus. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I am doing well financially. Let's see what that means. I had a call. Okay. Okay, I got an interview about a month ago and I got I-130 approved, but no I-485 approved yet. So what's your question? Good evening. I just sent a reminder email tonight. The reminder for what? This is Wumi from Florida. I emailed it to me. Let me see. I haven't checked most of my email today. You sent it to me or to... Oh, I know who this is. I know who this is. Okay. Oh, Miss Wumi, I didn't hear back from you yesterday. Time is of the essence. Yeah, I didn't hear back from you because my email to you yesterday was the last email was to you yesterday, so I didn't get a confirmation from you. Got it. Okay. To make sure, I did respond to. Did I not? Oh, I thought I did. I'm looking at the email. Give me till tomorrow. Yeah, just send me an email by noon tomorrow, please. I'm looking. I'm just going to mark it as unread. But okay. Got it. I was like, who's Wumi from? Because that's not how I have you saved in my profile. But okay. So I know. Red font lady. You already know Ms. Sanctuary. I was ready for them. I was ready. Because you ain't going to tell me that I didn't do what I was supposed to. Why would I not respond? Because you know how they make you look. The gaslighting is real. It's real. It's USCIS will gaslight you like, did I not send this? Because I was telling Ashanti, I was like, did I not send this? I was like, I'll be damned. Did I forget it? No. I remember I sent an email to the client like, hey, this is the copy of your file. So I was like, okay. So we went back to the email where I'm like, share on people ye. I said we sent this. It was delivered way before it was due, and it was signed for. We have the name of the person who signed for it. This is the noise going dark, but yeah, I was ready. We know where to got it from. I was saying, said nothing. Whatever. Is his mother's child. Hello, Mr. Kelvin. How are you? Good to have you. Okay, perfect. We'll use our last ink to write them. Thankfully, ink doesn't dry. You should see me. TJ will tell you. TJ can tell y'all. I'm up sometimes till 2-3 a.m. and I'm typing away. When I have a brief and woman Kamilara, my children go by. It's a long I've been seeing now. We don't judge. We watch. That's okay. You can judge if you want. My kid thinks I work too much, but you know, TJ can probably tell you what each document is because it's like if you look at my floor, my office, my home office, it has everything immigration. My child probably can identify what what a document is. Like, it is what it is. It's just good to have, being able to show your children passion is always good. And so they don't have an excuse. Okay. Um, After vote and green card are approved, cannot file for the kids. Well, if your children are not in the United States, then once your green card is approved, if you listed them, then you just have to do an I-824, which is let USCIS notify the NVC that your kids are going to be applying for immigrant visas. If your kids are in the United States, however, you do not need to wait until your green card is approved. Once even for the vow, you can add them as long as they're under the age of 21. They can be added to your case. General information, nothing specific to anyone's case. If my brother files for me while I'm in the States, will I be granted a work permit? No. Your brother filing for an I-130 for you doesn't confer any status on you. And the only way you can get a work permit is if you file the green card application part of it. That means that your priority date must be current. So if you're talking about your brother filing for you, that means he has not filed. And siblings petition is taking about 15 to 17 years. So that means that it's going to take about 15 to 17 years before you're able to file for a work permit. And if you have overstayed, you don't even qualify to file a green card application based on a sibling petition. I have something to discuss with you in Yoruba. That would be great, but you can set up a consultation. And I did discuss in Yoruba, but like you already know, my Yoruba is very questionable. So it's not my fault. Blame my mama. My mama married a Delta man. My mom married a Delta man. I would brandish one as a Yoruba man. But when my dad passed, God bless his soul, we saw that it's not Yoruba man because my mom was probably going to come for me like but seriously, my dad's name is Julius Aguirre Odajiwade. You're like, auntie, I'm not joking. He just changed his last name to his dad's first name, which is Samuel. And then I think the only Yoruba name my dad has is Taiwo. Right? Yeah, Banky. That's the only. So don't blame me. That's it. My mom is responsible for that. Okay, let's see. Not that I have questions, but you have this positive energy that makes me stop anytime I see your life. Thank you. Appreciate that. There's a whole lot of negativity going on. So let's bring a little happy to what's going on here. Okay. Alrighty, what's the time? Okay. Let's see. You help. Okay. A legal immigrant who overstayed his visa, later filed for adjustment status, can they be detained during their interview at the USCIS office? That's what we're saying, unfortunately. This is not to scare anyone, but is it happening? Yes, it is. Iwalewa Street is close to State Hospital. It is close to State Hospital. That much I remember. It's been many years, but that much I remember. Morata Hospital, yeah, for sure. And I think my grandmother was ill one time, and so that's where my dad, and because my dad had a house too in Accra, and then he sold it when we all moved here. But I remember when she was sick, that's where she was taken to. So yes, okay. Dwayne, go ahead and ask your question. My asylum case got approved. Tower Victor, good evening. My asylum case got approved last year, May. Okay, congratulations, Victor. What's your question? Y'all need to ask questions. What is the question? I have a question. Yes, what's your question? The time you're going to use to write, I have a question. You could have just written the question itself. So what's the question? I have no question. Miss Peggy there. Amen. I'm sorry. Our next youngest attorney. TJ, we're waiting. We don't judge, we watch. TJ to 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒏𝒕. I don't know where TJ got it from. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Okay. Let's see. Supriya, there's no need for you to write your question. I was actually going to answer your question, but because you decided to repeat that question at least 4 times now, I'm going to skip it. Okay. So my baby appreciate me threw me out the stairs. Now want to let me see Let me see. Okay, what is your question? Cool, Merc. What is your question? Divorce after I-751 was filed. What should be done? You need to sit down with the lawyer to figure out what self-petition basis you can convert to. Divorce, extreme hardship, abuse, and then notify USCIS of your intention to convert to that. Do I have the right to go after her full custody? That's not. This is an immigration forum. This is not family law forum. Okay, let's see. Does reckless driving affect renewal of a green card? It depends on what it is. Some states, the way it is codified in some states, makes it that it can make it fall within the crime involving moral turpitude, and it also involved in they consider whether someone was injured, was there injury to a person, and all that. So it's just not a yes or no answer to that question. Okay. This Supriya Bora. Oh yeah, you literally put your question 10 times. Okay, let's see. All right, I think we have answered. How many times can a green card interview be rescheduled? And that's the thing. I had a client who we actually preparing for an interview for next week. Her and her children. And we just got notification this morning that they rescheduled the interview. And I have another client that they've rescheduled the interview. They've canceled and rescheduled 4 times. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Can you travel with AP if you have a pending VAW application and adjustment status at the same time? When it comes to travel, I can't tell you whether to travel or not. But generally, if there's nothing in your record that should be a concern, you don't have. Even some of the F1 visa holders, actually, their visas were revoked and service canceled simply because they had traffic violation. I'm not even making this up. I have one client who consulted with me because of that traffic violation, like a parking ticket. These people were. That's how low this administration is going. So if they can do that to people who were not charged with a crime, just a traffic violation that doesn't even do any make any dent in your immigration filing. Imagine if you have something else much more serious. So as long as you got nothing, so even if what kind of traffic violation do you have? You have to even evaluate that now before you travel, just to be on the safe side. But if you've got no pending case in court, no removal order that has been entered against you, no criminal record, then generally you should be fine. Generally. What's your take switching from B1, B2 to F1 visa in this era? I mean, there's nothing that stops you from still filing. I got quite a number of cases in the works right now, change of status to F1. Even F2A cases to be upgraded to IR with the time waited thus far be taken into consideration. There's no time waiting thus far because the whole point of switching, becoming IR is that you're not waiting. There's no waiting period. There's visa available. It just depends on how quickly the case is going to be processed. Okay. I got my work permit. How long does it take to get Social Security number? And that's one of the things I talked about on Tuesday. It seems as if that they haven't made an official statement, but based on information that I've been able to gather from one of my organizations, associations, I should say, it looks like they're now stopping to notify the Social Security Administration of people getting work authorization or N400 being approved. So you may have to go into your Social Security office and apply for one. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Can I apply for the adjustment status now as an asylee since it's on hold? There's no policy that has been released that you cannot apply. The only thing right now is there's a pause on the final adjudication of those applications. So as of this moment, as I'm talking to you, there's nothing that says you cannot. And you know, that's something quite a number of my colleagues and I have talked about. There's no policy that says you cannot file, but they just would not adjudicate the case, meaning they wouldn't approve your case until they get, you know, further instructions from the powers that be. Yeah. I had a TN visa for over 25 years. I have a 19-year-old son born in America. I'm a Canadian and left the United States only 6 months. My work permit ending. It's the only way I can go back to U.S. when my son is with. That's not the only way. You can always come back in on a temporary status. But if you're looking for permanent residency, then that's probably going to be your best bet. And if your son is 19, just wait another 2 years. Heard that the termination of parole status of ACH and CH and V, that said, they must depart the country. That said that they must depart the country by April 24 or be subject to removal was stopped by a federal judge this past Monday. Do you know details of that? There is an injunction that yes, that is true that the federal judge has put an injunction on it. So basically stopping the administration from deporting people and saying that they have to address those cases, that the whole situation on a case by case basis. So they cannot, that it's illegal for them to just ask them to terminate their parole and ask them to depart the country. So there's an injunction in place for right now, and so basically it's not going to be terminated in April 24 unless something happens between now and then. So which is exactly a week from today. Okay, let's see. Okay, so answer that question. All right. Okay, I think we got all questions. After your 42 months waiting for your vow, what is the next step? What's the next step of what? If your vow has not been approved, then you're going to have to wait for them to approve it. If it's approved, then your next step is a green card to be approved. I-45 pending. Can I travel to San Francisco? I cannot tell you whether to travel or not. I don't know anything about your case, but generally people are, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to, you're welcome to it. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to travel domestically, but I'm telling my clients who are traveling that make sure you have your receipt notices. Some of my clients don't have receipt notices because we're still waiting on the powers that be in the VAL office to give us receipt notices. Literally, we're just getting notices for cases filed last week in January and in the first 2 weeks in February. When it comes to VAL cases, we're literally just getting receipt notices this week. It's crazy. They're doing everything to try to frustrate immigrants. And keep in mind, when they were running, campaigning, they promised, they claimed that they were going to try to find a legal way for especially international students and all that. The same international students now that you're going after. I'm telling you, I don't want politics. If your visa stamp expires on the 17th of July, can you travel to the U.S. on the 1st of July? Whether or not you're going to be admitted is up to CBP. Your visa the stamp is still valid, but if they feel like it's going, because the visa stamp is not going to control you being in within the country. What controls how long you can stay in the country is going to be the duration they give you on your I-94. Whether or not they're going to now make a big deal out of the fact that your visa stamp is going to expire, within 2 weeks, that's something that's at the discretion of CBP. Okay. All right, people. Hello, Anthony Sennett. How are you? I'm an F1 student and I'm recently married to a U.S. citizen. I've completed my master's program. I'm considering not applying for OPT. What's your question? 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓, what's your question? Can I travel or fly within the U.S. with a pending case? I cannot tell you whether you can travel or not. Generally, if you have a pending case, make sure you have proof of your pending case, meaning have your work permit, have all your copies of your receipt notices. So there's no reason why, if you have a lawyer on your case, especially in VAR cases or cases where you notices are sent to your lawyer's office, there's no reason why you should not have copies of your notices. It makes absolutely no sense. I just don't know how to do anything other than we get notices, and the client has to get notices within the 48 within 48 hours of getting our notices, because it's that's yours. You need to, especially now. You've got to. I can't even tell you how many times I have consulted with people, or maybe they're trying to get a second opinion, they're trying to come to our firm and they go, and I ask for the USCIS notices. I'm like, well, I was never given. It's like, what do you mean you were never given? Well, they never sent it to me. Well, then if they didn't send it to you, ask. Ask for it. But just make sure you have your notices with you. If you got an EAD, you have that with you. So, and now let me be very clear. When I talk of notices, it's not your case tracking app. That's not the equivalent of you actually having the notice to show that this is your name on the notice and all that. So don't think a case tracking app does the same job. No, it does not. The person in question has a valid work visa status. It still doesn't change that it's at the discretion of CBP it still doesn't change at discretion of the visa stamp itself. If they're coming back in, for instance, if someone has, what example can I give? So if someone someone has an H-1B visa, for instance, right? They got that visa stamp, and they came in with that visa stamp, and it's going to expire July 17th, like you said. But while they were in the country, they now applied for an extension of the H-1B and got the approval of the extension for, let's say, another 3 years, right? So they'll have a new I-94. The I-94 is going to be valid for the duration. So if they travel and they're coming back, they're going to see that they have an extension, right? But if they go out and they're not coming back on that initial visa stamp, which is going to expire soon, it's still going to boil down to CBP, especially now. If they say, well, you're coming back in, even though you've got the extension, your visa stamp is going to expire soon. If we were on that Biden administration, I wouldn't even worry about that, because you have the I-94 that already shows you extended. But because the I-94 is not what brings you back in. Once you leave the country, what brings you back in to be admitted is the visa stamp. What keeps you here is your I-94, but the visa stamp is what gets you into the country to start with. So that's where the issue may be. But hopefully you get someone who is kind enough to see that there's a status that extends more than just the visa stamp. I'm guessing that's what you mean. Okay. Should I maintain my F1 status when filing for a green card through marriage base? What are the implications if I go out of status while filing through marriage base? If you're out of status, so let me put it this way. Even if you were out of status already, because you are, let me go back to your initial question. Okay, you're already married. Because you're married to a citizen, people who are out of status, you don't get, you're exempt from your lawful presence bar because you're married to a citizen and considered an immediate relative. So the option to now maintain status is solely your decision to make, if you feel more comfortable doing that until you get an approval, so that you have a backup plan and you're not out of status. It's more about people not wanting to be out of status while filing through marriage. But if you are married to a citizen, there is no requirement that you've got to keep to be in status. And that's why a lot of people who've overstayed, married citizens, are able to get their green cards. So if you want to keep the status, that's up to you. If you are married to a green card holder, on the other hand, then you would be required to still be in valid status until USCIS gets your I-485. Once the I-485 has been receipted, you have your receipt notice, and that was done before your status ends, then you don't need to maintain status beyond that time. So it really boils down to what you are comfortable with. But there's no implication. There's no negative consequence of you not maintaining status when you're married to a citizen. Okay. Let's see. My children are green card holders and eligible for their citizenship next April. Can I, in the interim, seek asylum before they can file for me? I've been in the U.S. since 2022. I would not not in the interim, especially since you've been here more than 1 year. This is not the time you just want to file for asylum just to file. We're seeing, I have 2 cases now that one was filed in January, one was filed in November. Recent cases both scheduled for interviews. There's a lady consulted with me on Monday. She filed her asylum case on March 5th. March 5th, yes. She has an interview tomorrow. Remember, this administration is the one that came in with last in, first out, so they're back with it again. If you file your asylum case recently, if you file your asylum case recently, you have a higher chance of being scheduled for an interview. And in your case, because you didn't file within the first year of entry, if it's denied based on that, that's an automatic referral to immigration court. So if your children are going to be filing for citizenship soon, give or take a year, and they will be at least 21 years old, then just later on, wait till then. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. All right, everybody. Okay. All right. So let's listen. There's so much going on. There's so much going on, and that's okay. But as I said on Tuesday, and I keep saying, God does not change. That's the one constant that we can always depend on. God is not going to change, and there's nothing that he has already planned for us that anybody can change. What has been ordained as part of your destiny, part of my destiny, ain't going to change. The devil can try all he wants to, but if God has spoken it, it has to come to pass. If God has spoken it about you, concerning you, it has to be perfected. And so there's no promise that we would not face storms. There's no promise that we would not have trials and tribulations along the way. But there's nothing that's going to be sent our way. There's nothing that we cannot conquer. He is still the same God who parted the Red Sea. He's still the same God who is in the business of miracles. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly that which he has promised us, that is the expected, and it shall and must be fulfilled, in spite of whatever anyone knows. They may be deporting people around you, but the Bible has made it clear, 1,000 would fall at my side, 10,000 by my right side, but they shall not come near me. Only with my eyes will I behold the reward of the wicked. Whatever the plan of the evil one concerning any of us, it cannot be manifested. It cannot trump what God has intended for us, and what it is that he has called for us, what he has apportioned for us, what he has ordained for us and our family and our generations to come. It would find us and bless us indeed. So don't let fear come overpower you. Let faith continue to lead. And keep declaring and decreeing each day that in spite of the stories, in spite of the news, in spite of this being done to this person, it shall not come near, because what we have the blood of Jesus that has marked us and kept us. We are marked for signs and wonders. That mark is upon us. So that means that evil must pass us. And therefore, all that has been ordained to be ours shall and must find us. Because so as God has decreed, so shall it be. I'll see you guys next week. Happy Easter, everybody.